A while back, we talked about the sundress that broke the internet. This was a very controversial sundress that was created by EV Magazine for their female readers. Well, they just did another one. They released something called the Raw Milkmaid dress.
Oh, God.
This is a real thing. That is the actual name of the product. Let's show some pictures and get your first reactions.
There you go.
So if you're listening rather than watching, this is a white midi dress with a high slit, low scoop neckline. The model has 32 G cups. I know that because they listed it on the website. I'm not a creep.
For a point of reference?
Yes, for a point of reference. And it's already pissed off a lot of people.
How mad are they?
They're very, very angry.
Wait a minute. Who's mad and why are they mad?
Well, I think this has turned into a fake conversation about modesty when really it should be a conversation about the amount of effort that people ought to put into the way they present themselves. Obviously, we don't have some like major societal problem of women wearing slutty sundresses. It's more a societal problem of women and men not putting effort into their appearances and the way that they dress. So
yeah, I wear sweatpants to work every day, so maybe I'm the problem.
I don't particularly care for this dress. I didn't consider buying it. I do think it's probably overpriced at $190.
I mean, everything's overpriced, isn't it?
Still, though, I wouldn't opt to buy this myself, but plenty of people like it. But the people who dislike this dress are basically saying that EV Magazine is capitalizing off of the Tradwife trend and making it into a fetish.
Well, even me and Mary have like an inside joke on here where EV Magazine will write the most like lewd topic and then just say, for your husband.
Yeah, they have sex columns, and every sex column makes sure to note that this is for married women.
Yes.
So there are a lot of aspects of the magazine that rub people the wrong way. Like it just seems like a conservative psyop to them. But they think the dress is a psyop in order to fetishize the Tradwife aesthetic and make it into something untoward and something, you know, gross and pornographic.
The whole the whole internet Tradwife thing is all BS anyways. Like if you actually get a Tradwife, she's going to look like Babushka. Like she's going to be, you know, she's going to be a husky woman that can help you on the farm. Like that's the stuff that Tradwives do when they're like really pretty and voluptuous and all attractive and stuff like that. That's just that's postmodern Tradwife. It's all BS. Yes. It's not real. So I mean, I don't know that the idea isn't something that modern girls should not aspire to, because we've talked about bringing back aspirational. So I think it's okay that they're like, okay, this is an aspirational, you know, look for women if they want to be somewhat modest, or at least, and not that was particularly modest, so maybe that's not really a great word, but if they want to be less like on the progressive side, you know what I mean? Like, because if you're at least going to embrace traditional beauty, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Because progressives with their shaved heads and piercings and tattooed faces and stuff, that's not attractive. And if you're like, well, I don't want to be like that, but I still want to be attractive, maybe that's something that women are going to go for. But it's definitely not like really what a Tradwife would look like. Because a Tradwife would look like an Amish guy.
Well, they're selling. Beard. I think they are selling a fantasy, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. That is kind of the entire appeal. I looked at the description for this, for the Raw Milkmaid dress, which, by the way, if you're a man, you probably don't know this, but a milkmaid styled top or dress is a real category. They didn't come up with that themselves.
Oh, I didn't know
that. That is the style of the dress, to be fair. But they added the raw part.
Well, the raw is because of raw milk.
Because all the right-wing girls that read EV Magazine are probably into the raw milk craze.
Yeah.
But here's the description. Designed in the French countryside and inspired by the hard-working dairymaids of 17th century Europe, the Raw Milkmaid dress is handmade from luxurious organic cotton and 100% feminine energy. featuring a flattering corset bodice that cinches the waist beautifully, a scooped neckline and drawstring, delicate boning, dainty buttons, a side zipper, an adjustable lace-up back for a custom fit. The romantic puff sleeves can be styled on or off the shoulders. The fully lined midi skirt has hidden pockets and a flirty slit above the knee. That slit above the knee really angered some people.
Okay.
Including some of the readers of EV Magazine who they were trying to appeal to.
All
Some
of
women,
this is
more of a
just-
religious conservative persuasion, were offended that they were being sold this dress because it's sexualized.
They were being offered
That this was on
dress.
offer.
It's
yes.
not nobody has to buy this. You know?
This was always going to happen after Trump won. And it sounds like I'm making a non sequitur, but I'm not. But the religious right and a bunch of other people who are now under this big tent that is modern day right-wing politics or right-wing culture, you know, everyone that isn't just a generic leftist who believes in everything from climate change to all of these other things, doesn't believe in the validity of it as a government, you know, point of purpose. Now everyone's kind of stuck together. And now they're going to start fighting because they won. Now they have to fight with each other because there's nobody else to fight with on the other side because everybody else on the other side is
Sure.
kind of licking their wounds right now.
That makes sense.
This is going on in video games right now with character designs and all of that stuff. And everybody's arguing because that's what people love to do.
It's more of a fight between, you know, the religious right and the broader mainstream right.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
it's not-
why this debate has arisen.
I kind of feel like the problem isn't just that it's the right and the mainstream right or whatever. It's just the not leftist, right? Like the people that are just like, well, I'm not on the left. The leftists are crazy. The
Yes.
leftists are blah,
Yes.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm center right.
Liberals who voted for Trump are fighting with conservatives
Yeah.
who voted for Trump on Twitter
And-
about a dress.
And by conservative, you're almost always talking about religious conservatives. You're not
Yes.
just talking about,
Yes.
you know, people that are fiscally conservative or whatever. So, and look, because the religious conservatives have very deeply held beliefs, and they don't just, and to them it's not just a, you know, it's not just a pose. It's things that they actually live. They're going to take issue with things that are coded as right, but fall outside of the things that they find acceptable to
Right,
the,
yeah.
to their sensibilities. That's just going to happen. That's always going to happen because they're deeply held beliefs. Like they're religious people. If they're religious people and they're like, look, this doesn't represent what I think of as, you know, the religious way that I want to live, they're going to take issue with it. Now, the question is, do they want to continue to have a broad tent party, or do they want to say, if you don't believe like I believe, you can't be part of the party? You know, and how much influence do they have?
Yeah.
so this is why fashion is political after all.
Apparently they were right.
The Cut released an article about the controversy saying, being a tradwife is in, and conservative magazine Evie wants to capitalize on that momentum. So it released the raw Milkmaid dress, and readers are not happy. One said, so disappointed by the amount of cleavage shown. Way too revealing for a modest woman. Nearly everyone commented on the cleavage, and many compared the looks to those of sex workers. One commenter said, when all standards of modesty go out the window, it's hard not to compare this to the attire worn by prostitutes in the 17th century. Only your models are missing a lace corset and fishnet stockings. Another person commented saying, they learned nothing from Dressgate. Even more cleavage and a high slit, definitely what your audience of modest religious women would want. So the modest religious women that are part of EV Magazine's target audience are offended by this.
Is it
Meanwhile, the libs who voted for Trump are into it.
Yeah,
and I'm over here like, I don't know, I kind of just don't want the dress. Doesn't look flattering.
There you go. There you go.
And then, you know,
Mary with the good
aside
take.
from the Puritan debate, you know, aside from anything about it being pornographic or immodest or anything, that's really a cover for what this is really about. And I think there are a lot of women who feel they couldn't get away with wearing something like this.
What do you mean?
So they feel excluded by the very existence of a dress
Meaning
like
like
this.
they wouldn't look good in it, therefore it shouldn't exist?
Yes. There are a lot of women who feel they would not look good in this dress, and they feel threatened by that. One said, the fatty moms who wear sweatpants and greasy hair don't like the dress. They let go in the years of body positivity, and now it's too late to wear a dress like this. Big sad. I kind of agree with that take. I think there are a lot of people who resent the women that would look good in the dress, so they're going to hate on the dress for being immodest. You can... It's just like, shut your mouth.
Never underestimate a woman's ability to be catty.
Yeah. Well, I also saw another deep insight here saying the problem in our society is not one of too many women walking around done up wearing dresses that are too alluring. Yeah, right. Wake up. It's a slob world where men and women seem to make no effort to be attractive to the opposite sex.
I mean,
average clothing in the 1960s was far more alluring than average in 2024.
It was also average in the 1960s.
I like this take.
Things are extremely dour and unattractive today, and sexual energy has been zapped in public society. That I fully agree with, and it has nothing to do with modesty, because obviously wearing skin-toned, skin-tight leggings in public is not modest. It's also zapped of all libido. It has no... It's obviously sexual in nature. You're wearing those leggings, especially the Gymshark leggings that have the seam up the butt, because you're trying to look for sexual attention from what you're wearing. It's immodest, but it's not feminine, you know? It's not putting in a lot of effort. You're just slipping spandex over your body and sucking all of your fat in. It's not putting effort into your appearance. So I think the real battle here is between, you know, not between the Puritans and the, I don't know, what would they be called? Like Nietzschean vitalists.
This is $20 from Just Because I'm Free.
Women are just hating on the dress because it's nice. They just can't fill it out.
Great pun.
I do think that a lot of it is still a battle between the fact that on one side of the aisle now there's just a big group of people that see the world very, very differently. And these, again, this is being echoed in video games right now when it comes to like character design and stuff like that, and what women should be wearing as video game characters, and people that you might have agreed with on the election or maybe take this a little bit differently, and they're going to have a crossroads in what people believe about this. But good on Evie for using it to their advantage to make themselves a bunch of money.
I gotta agree with Mary, or at least agree about the fact that nobody puts any effort in. And my nephews they're 16 and 20, I think, 21 maybe, 16 and 20, and like they wear sweatpants all the time.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, I can't. Like you do you. I'm not gonna tell you how you have to live. But people don't put much effort, especially young people don't put effort into the way they look anymore. Or at least it doesn't seem like they do. Mm-hmm. Definitely not the way that, you know, previous generations have. And it's like jeans are not difficult. It's not like we're wearing, you know, not like people that are, you consider themselves dressed casually or wearing a suit and tie anymore.
The argument is that the sweatpants of today are not the sweatpants that were worn 20 years ago. They're cut in a way that actually fit your body better, meaning that it tapers to the leg and it doesn't look like a pair of Hanes sweatpants.
Okay, no one's attacking you.
They're wide the whole way.
There's and Crocs, Charlie
Crocs,
Stevenson.
They wear the socks.
I have Crocs
they wear
too.
like Crocs and like
it just doesn't.
It doesn't look good. It looks sloppy. It looks like you're hanging out in your house, which, if you want to look like that, then it's fine. But like, you can't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm put together, and you should take me seriously, and I'm an actual adult, and you should respect the things that I say." When you're wearing Crocs and like gym shorts,
here's
that's
how it
for
reads
sitting around
to
in the
me.
house.
This is not a battle between immodesty and modesty. This is a battle between athleisure and sexy dresses.
Okay.
Let's divorce this from the conversation about modesty and religious purity and all of those things, which I do care about.
Yes.
To get really real, this is a battle between people who wear leggings as pants and women who wear dresses. And people who can look good in this dress and people who can't. That's what it's about. That's what it seems to me. It's about jealousy. And that's to say nothing of this product in particular. I actually bought the sundress that they put out last year. Was that earlier this year?
I think it was earlier.
Maybe in
year.
the summer. I did buy it. I didn't like it personally. It had a weird fit. I didn't like the material. But I applaud them for trying. Yep. I applaud the effort. I think the marketing is kind of flopping, and they should not be arguing with people on Twitter about it.
You said no. I think the arguing with people on Twitter is perfect for them because their audience is on Twitter.
But it's just it's getting too much into the back and forth with anonymous people on the internet. For a fashion magazine.
You also had a problem with the marketing of the first one. You said that the actual photos were bad.
Yeah, because they chose a model who was not smiling.
Yeah, it didn't look fun or free. It looked
It looked like it was going for something more sultry than
what it was supposed to be.
Was. Yeah.
Well,
they also they made a Got Milkmaid ad as well. Yeah. Do you have that? Just to appeal to all of the raw milk stands. I don't really get it.
Those Evie magazine people know what they're doing, I'm sure. They'll make their money.
I don't drink raw milk. I don't even drink milk in general because I'm not a baby. So
thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye guys.